All right, well, that's it for us for our headlines today with your news. We're going to send it over to John Archuleta with your Sunrise What's Trending panel.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. That's right. I'm joined with our original three again here today. Jay Walker, Martha Guzman, Natasha Herzig. First of all, good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good morning.
Great.
Good, good. I'm sure you all are ready to sound off on our three topics today. We have the first one's quite a talker. It's been a talker all week long. Lance Armstrong's Oprah interview. Now, yesterday it aired last night, and he basically told Oprah that he was doping during his career, which is, you know, what he was accused of. I don't think it's any surprise to anyone at this point, but he flat out came out and said it finally. So my question to you is, I mean, what do you think of his confession, and do you think he should be given another chance, or at least be forgiven now that he's confessed to it? And do you think he stands a chance as another, to be redeeming himself as an athlete?
Oh, you're all looking at me because I'm the guy.
Jay, you're the man.
You know, Lance has been. This has been going on for a long time. They say decades. You know, and I myself said no, I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. You know, years ago, and no, they're just trying to disprove an American winning the Tour de France 7 times. I did not want to believe it. And then people started coming forward. His own teammates started coming forward, and now obviously he's it hurt. But you know, he's just got to number one. It's like pulling off a Band-Aid. You know, either you rip it off and get it done, get it over with, or you go really slow and it hurts longer, and that's what he did. He could have ripped it off a long time ago, and people would have, I don't want to say forgotten, but it would have been done and over with, and they would have let him move forward. Now it's taken so long, it's gonna take him a long time to get to where people are forgetting about it, because it's so fresh in his memory, everybody's memory. Do I think that he can come back, or even has the right to? Absolutely. If he wants to come back, you know, how many pro athletes have done drugs and been kicked out of the leagues and given a second chance stuff? If he wants to come back and he's clean and he follows all the rules and he is drug tested like everybody else, there's no reason he shouldn't be able to come back. And you know, he's a little old to get into cycling, I believe.
Do you feel this was calculated? I mean, he could have came out at a press conference and fessed up to it, but he waited until the Oprah interview. Do you feel this was a calculated
move? I think he finally had to. I think that he would have kept lying about it until, you know, he denying it until the end of time. But there's just so many people out there, people that stayed in the same room with him. There was his bike mates that were literally right next to him doing the same thing, that have written books and are talking to people. And now it's just, there's just no way to hide anymore.
All right, Martha?
You know, first of all, it's very sad. You know, a lot of people looked up to him. He was a role model for young individuals, for people of all ages. It's very sad that he had to lie. You know, with that said, he also was able to do a lot of good, you know, because of what he did. He created this foundation. It's hopefully helped to save people's lives with the research, for cancer research. So he let a lot of people down, but at the same time, there was some good that came out of this, and lives that have been changed and saved. You know, can he, you know, his reputation is tarnished. I think, you know, for the sport of cycling, you know, it's also kind of been bruised. Can he come back? I mean, he's admitted what he's done finally, even though a lot of people already knew. He's back at zero. It's going to take a while for him to rebuild his reputation, to regain that trust. After lying, you know, year after year, I mean, it's going to take a while. But will he rebuild himself over time? I think so. Will he compete again? I'm not sure. Maybe at a lower level, but.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Senior division.
Senior division.
Well, I don't even think he's that old.
Maybe.
I think he's fairly young. He's 43.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah, but 43 in the biking world is
very
103.
true.
Right.
Very true.
Well, personally, I don't believe in confessing this kind of stuff, no matter how much the evidence is stacked against you. I don't believe in coming out and confessing it all like a tell-all. I believe that he was greedy, he got caught up. He was becoming very powerful because he was so successful and good at what he did. And like he said, it was all about the control. And he wanted to control. He lied, yes, he did. He's not doing something that a lot of other athletes are not doing, because they're doing it too. He just got caught. And like he said, if he wouldn't have came out of retirement to compete again, he probably wouldn't have been outed. And I believe he was outed because of jealousy of other teammates, because they were like, wait a minute, it's our time to shine now. And that's why they outed him. Do I believe he can come back from this? most people can come back from anything unless it's severely, severely devastating. So.
All right. Well, you heard it right there, folks, from your Sunrise panel. They are saying Lance Armstrong may be making a comeback in the future. We'll have to wait and see. All right, thank you so much, folks, for joining us back here on What's Trending, where we are talking about now Manti Te'o's catfish hoax, which is making big headlines right now. Now, they're saying that he was dating a girl online for 3 years. If you don't know who he is, he's a linebacker for a Notre Dame football team. But they're saying that he was dating a girl online for 3 years who became his girlfriend. Then they're saying that this article is published saying that she got cancer and that she died. And of course, he was very devastated about it from what we saw anyways. He was crying, very just devastated about it. Now there's reports saying that it was one of his friends that set up this online account. And, you know, the weird thing about it, the odd thing is he was having phone conversations with this imaginary girlfriend, or supposedly imaginary girlfriend. And it's just lots of questions here. I mean, I want to know what his side of the story is and all this. But, I mean, do you think he had any idea that this was all a hoax? And do you think he might have been in on it for publicity?
I don't think from the very beginning he was in on it. I think what happened was he really believed this was his girlfriend, and then the truth came out and he just went with it so that he wasn't embarrassed. I don't believe that he just decided, let me have this fake girlfriend and then she dies hours after my grandmother does. I don't know who would possibly think that would be okay to do. And with America behind him in the championship game and him being nominated for the Heisman Trophy, being, you know, in the first round NFL draft, I think he just had so much going on that he wouldn't want to have that type of embarrassment, you know, just because he had the country behind him, because that is devastating to lose your grandmother and your girlfriend hours.
Absolutely, yeah. Martha?
You know, this story is so convoluted. You know, I can understand where you can start a relationship online and develop feelings after, you know, talking and developing that relationship. But for 3 years,
3 years
and
not
there's no
her.
pictures, and
Right.
you know, with Skype and all the technology out there that you can FaceTime, whatever, that you can, you know, you would think that you'd want to see what this person looks like. Send me a picture. It just seems a little strange.
Bizarre.
Yeah, very bizarre. You know, I want to believe, you know, like Natasha, that initially, but then there's reports that, you know, I believe on December 6th is when he came out, or he discovered that it was a hoax, but then afterwards he was still talking about it, like, you know, talking about his deceased girlfriend. So, you know, it's just a very confusing story. You know, it's hard to, you know, talking about Lance Armstrong and this guy, I mean, there's some lies going on in here and in there, and I'm just not really buying the whole situation.
Well, I believe he lied at the end.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if we're ever going to know, you know, but to me, I'm with Martha. It's really, sorry, but fishy. Catfish. It's way fishy. We're talking about a guy who said this woman was the love of his life, quote unquote, love of my life. Okay, she dies, and he doesn't even go to his love of his life's funeral. I mean, well, all she wanted was white roses. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I don't believe it. Yes, I think he was in on it from the start. He wanted to win the Heisman, and any kind of publicity he could get to further that. I know I've seen it sounding harsh here, but again, this is a panel of opinions.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion.
Well,
I think
3 years. 3 years, and you, like Martha said, you haven't seen this girl. Haven't even made the effort to see her.
There's no picture.
I know, but
it's very bizarre.
People, just like Catfish, the show on MTV, people go years without talking on the phone, seeing each other, and they really believe they're in love.
This guy was a prospect that is going to the NFL. He's a future millionaire for
There's
the rest
women
of his
probably
life.
Throwing themselves.
He's got
surrounded
women
by him.
left and right, and he doesn't even get to look at a picture of him or go to his love of his wife's funeral or do anything like that. No, the guy's in on it. He played America, and he got caught.
Yeah.
I really hope
cheaters never prosper.
But his dad said that they did meet.
Well, Dad's got a back son up.
Yeah.
You don't think?
It's a mystery for now. I think more, I mean, this is definitely one story that's not going away anytime soon. We're going to be hearing more about it in the upcoming weeks, so we'll probably make a return on this conversation, but for now, we got to move on to the next one, which is about the 6-year-old first grader in Maryland who was suspended. He did a gesture in the classroom where, you know, as some kids do, they make their fingers into a gun shape, and there it is right there. And what happened is he was suspended by the school for doing it due to all the recent violence outbreaks and stuff. So my question to you as a panel is, do you think the child should have been suspended, or was the punishment too harsh? And if so, what do you think should have been done?
I'll start this one. You know, right now, obviously, the country, schools, everyone's extremely sensitive to the issue of gun violence. You know, kids at 6 years old, they play, you know, cops and robbers, things like that. I think that if a teacher caught this student, I think this was an opportunity to have maybe a parent-teacher conference where you call the parent in and, you know, tell them, you know, I've seen these signs, you know, what's going on at home. Just letting the parent, you know, be aware of what's going on instead of suspending this poor child, you know, instead of teaching the child a better lesson.
Yeah. Jay?
Death row. Put the kid on death row, man. I'm telling you. Come on. Really? I know it's a different day. I understand it's a different day and time. I mean, we used to bring toy guns to school. We used to play, like you say, cops and robbers, cowboys and Indians in school, in the classroom, out on recess, and you know. And I understand that it's a little bit different today, but this kid is 6 years old.
Yes.
It was a finger gesture, like, and he said, "Pow." I mean, the school went way overboard, and it's ridiculous. I mean, it's absolutely. There's something should happen to the school board, the people who did
Real
it.
fast.
I couldn't agree more with both of you. I completely agree. The fact that they questioned him about guns in your home and stuff like that without the parents present, absolutely ridiculous. And I would be livid if that was my child.
All right. So you heard it from your Sunrise panel, folks. They're not buying that one. They want the school to answer to that. So, of course.
Oh my gosh.
No gesture, Shayna. So that does it for our segment for What's Trending, folks. But we'll be right back with Joey and your full weather forecast. Stay with us.
Oh.
How, Joey?